So just kind of going back into what to expect for the rest of today. This does continue to push off towards the east. We'll see less and less of that preset by around 1, 2 o'clock. And since we are going to be getting later into the day, temperatures likely will continue to increase just degree by degree. And so most of us should be already close to 40 by around 1 p.m. And then as the sun starts to come out behind all this later this afternoon, we will see temperatures work their way into the 40s, so that's going to help melt anything that did accumulate and also help dry off our roadway surfaces, especially with a little bit of a breeze, some sun. So that hopefully will limit the potential for any road impacts for a refreeze, black ice concerns late tonight into tomorrow morning. Because temperatures will be well below freezing heading into later tonight, but we're hoping a lot of this precipitation does evaporate off of most of our roadways once we get some sun, some warmer temps back later this afternoon. Checking in on our winter weather alerts. Weather Service in Peachtree City has trimmed back some of these. So Tolliver County, Hancock County have been eliminated from the winter weather advisory. We still have them in effect here around the Savannah River corridor and for places that are still seeing snow like Washington County, Jefferson County, Burke County, Emmanuel County. In Jenkins County and Screven County, you have not been placed underneath a winter weather alert, but you are starting to see some snow, just not expecting that snow to really get to the potential to cause minor impacts in order to issue an advisory. So you will see snow in Millen over the next hour or two. But with temperatures above freezing and staying above freezing through the afternoon, that should limit any potential for slick spots on roadways out there. But these technically do go in effect until 3 p.m. They could definitely be allowed to expire sooner. And with the trend from what we're seeing, how they're kind of eliminating these alerts west of us, I would imagine these kind of get chopped back sooner than 3 p.m. in many spots. But something we'll continue to monitor. There's the current view from our Beach Island tower cam. We'll bounce around these again, see if anything's changed, because last look, our Wheeler Road camera actually did show some snow. Seeing some flakes out there. Looks like it's definitely a mix there off Wheeler Road, but snow nonetheless. There is some snow out there. And I think I'm finally starting to see some better flakes here outside of our studios. We'll take the camera right off of our sign, off I-20. I don't see too many flakes, not too many. There's the lake. There's SRP Park. A few flakes mixing in at times. Can't beat that Beach Island view. Downtown Augusta. Go back down, check our camera there in Millen. That one was showing some pretty good snow. Yeah. Still snowing pretty decently down there in Jenkins County. Nothing to impact the roads though, which is good. Road temps well above freezing, should stay well above freezing the rest of today. So just kind of those, it's a fun opportunity to see some snow without really having to worry about too much in the way of impact. So pretty minimal event, kind of what we were expecting. Did have some pretty impressive snow in places like Washington. We've had some reports come out of Washington County so far today with totals up to 1.5 inches. So kind of the upper end of that 1 inch mark, but that has been generally for the southern and western CSRA so far today. Going back out to our radar view, still some pretty good snow there through Jefferson County, Emmanuel County, Johnson, even Washington as well. For us here around the metro, it looks like that freezing level staying just far enough above the surface to where we're still just kind of seeing a mix here around I-20. We'll switch over to our Harlem radar. And yeah, it's kind of shown that that layer of the atmosphere has warmed enough to where it's transitioned, but we can see from our Wheeler road cam that there is still a few flakes flying out here across the metro. But with this kind of starting to work its way further east, as soon as this precip's out of here, we're not expecting anything additionally for the rest of the afternoon. So not really expecting anything to have an impact on roadways here around the Augusta metro. The only way we would have some maybe minor impacts if there's still some wet surfaces by the time we get to after this afternoon, and then those could definitely refreeze heading into tonight and early Monday. But that would really be the only threat we have for maybe a few slick spots on roadways, some icy areas. And we kind of showed this just a little bit ago, but some of our winter alerts have already been allowed to expire, and so most of these should continue getting trimmed away over the next couple of hours as this precip moves out, temperatures warm up. They'll likely start chipping away at these west to east across the area. Cool. I'm cool with that. That works for me. Yeah, I think impact's pretty minimal. So stay safe, everyone out there. We are going to wrap up our live coverage of this now that it's kind of tapering off and haven't seen major impacts in most of the CSRA. So we'll continue to monitor things here in the Weather Center. If we need to, we can definitely hop back on here and be live. But thank you for sending in your viewer pictures, giving us your reports. Definitely helps us tell the weather story and understand what's happening from what we're seeing on radar and our tower cams. So be safe out there the rest of today. Check back in later this afternoon for more updates here on News 12.